Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to discuss with you my experience with this distant learning class. When I was first looking at signing up for the class, I have to admit I was a bit apprehensive. Distant learning class of public speaking just seemed a bit like an oxymoron to me. I mean, how could it work? We're not in front of a classroom environment, so how can I just get the same that I would had I been standing in front of a classroom? My overall reaction to this class is a positive one. I have to honestly say that speaking in front of a computer is a lot like speaking in front of a classroom. And I'm a bit surprised by it, actually. I would say the only advantage of taking a class online, or one of the advantages of taking this class online, is the fact that you get plenty of takes. So if you're stumbling across your words, you have an opportunity to delete it and try again. So for that, I'm grateful, because trust me, I had a lot of retakes. I still experience the same jitters that I would have in a classroom environment. I still had to prepare as I would have to in a classroom environment, and I still had to dress appropriately depending on the subject matter. So all of those things in consideration were prominent, and there was no difference. The only thing that I could see changing that would probably benefit this class is to have more discussions with our classmates on a face-to-face basis. And I don't know necessarily if that can be pulled off, but perhaps they could have a chat room where you have interaction face-to-face with other classmates. I could see that being an advantage, because there are times where you sort of get lost just looking at a camera's eye, and you tend to forget that there's people watching you, so it would be nice. My favorite assignment for this particular class was the life lesson speech. I suppose it was because it required no preparation. It was just, I spoke off the cuff. I also enjoyed watching the videos of the other students as well. It was great learning about the classmates, and it was a very candid setting, so that's what made it enjoyable to me. My least favorite assignment would have to be the informative speech. I would have to also say the persuasive speech, but the informative speech, being that it was the first speech that we had to prepare thoroughly, we had to prepare for it thoroughly. We had to do a research inventory, we had to do a works cited, a keyword outline. Those things I struggled with. That workload seemed to be a bit much for me, and I kind of wonder if I had been in a classroom environment if those things were excluded. My daughter had taken public speaking in the classroom environment just the semester before, and saw me with this class and laughed because she couldn't understand why there was always so much paperwork involved. I have to say I got a lot out of the reading material, however. It definitely prepared you for the speeches that you were having to put on. So that I was grateful for as well. If I had to speak to another student that was considering this class, my overall feeling about this class is, again, a positive one, and I would encourage somebody to go ahead and take it online. You know, again, there's a slight difference online as opposed to being in a classroom, but you do still get the structure of speaking in public. You are prepared with the paperwork and possibly with all the research inventory and the works cited to enable you to stand in front of a group of people. I've done, my previous work experience was speaking in front of a large group of people, so I was comfortable with that prior. And honestly, this kind of brought me back there. It gave me that confidence back, knowing how to word myself, reminding myself to hesitate with those ums, take a deep breath. Those key things are vital and still learned on an online class. So any other students interested in taking this class, I'd say go for it. I think that you'll enjoy it. I think you'll learn a lot from it. It's definitely a great thing to have this online. E-learning experience overall has been a positive one, and honestly, one I couldn't do without. I'm a very busy mother of 3 children, and particularly a child that's in travel hockey that keeps me extremely busy. So without online classes, I would not be able to achieve my goal. And I do appreciate the fact that we do have this modern technology in front of us, and we're able to take advantage of it. So I just want to say thank you for the class's feedback. Thank you, Professor Scacco, and everyone have a great summer and enjoy the rest of your semesters. Take care.